Hello student, welcome to EAMS India's online classes. In today's video from physics subject, force and laws of motion topic we are going to discuss. So in this chapter children, the topics we are going to cover in this chapter are first introduction, next causes of motion, next about force, again in force, balanced and unbalanced forces, Galileo's idea of force and friction, Newton's first law of motion, about Newton's second law of motion, mass versus inertia, what is the difference between them, and Newton's third law of motion, and finally about conservation of momentum. So about all these topics we are going to cover in this chapter children. So first let's begin with introduction and causes of motion and force. So we can observe many changes around us. So in our daily life, in our surroundings, we can observe many changes around us. In seasons, we have rainy season, summer season, winter season. Their names are spring, autumn, like that. We have so many seasons. We can observe the change in the seasons, or we can also observe change in sunrise and sunset, change during sunrise and sunset, or change in the tides of the sea. Means if you go to any sea, their tides will be going up and down. So once they will come to greater height at certain instant of time, then they will fall down. That rising of water in the sea or falling of water in the sea, it is called tides. Means around us or in our surroundings, we will observe changes in the seasons, or changes during sunrise, sunset, or changes in the tides of sea, etc. Like that we observe so many things. So have you ever thought about the cause behind these changes? We are observing the changes. For a normal person, no need to bother about the reason behind that change, because for him there is no use of that. But for somebody, the changes, they are useful, because for farmers, they want to grow one kind of crop, so they have to check the season for which crop is suitable in which season. Like that they have to think. But as a science student, what we have to do? We have to thought the cause. We have to think about the cause behind the changes, behind these changes. So here, in ancient days, people thought that invisible force, or somebody, they named it as God. It may be Hindu God, Muslim God, or Christian God. According to people's belief, according to their belief, they will name it as God. They will give it one name. So in ancient days, people thought that some invisible force like God was responsible for the changes occurring in the nature. Even now, not only ancient days, even now, many people, those who don't have belief on science, so many people believe that an invisible force still exists that causes whatever is happening in the world. But our scientist, or as a science student, we have to, it's our duty to find the cause, or to know about the cause behind these changes. So here, if you observe this picture, so later our scientists, what they have done means, they have developed a concept called force. Was developed. So but it was limited to explaining our efforts and actions. So later, our scientists, they have developed a concept called force, which will explain about our efforts and actions. Efforts and actions. Here, this boy is trying to, or these two boys are trying to push the block. Push the block means they are showing some effort to move the block, or they are doing some action to move the block. So this concept was named as a force by our scientists. So the word force, effort, strength, power had almost the same meaning at the same time. So different people may make use of different words, but all the words, which words? Force, effort, strength, power, all of them had almost the same meaning at the same time. So have you ever wondered what forces are? So what are the different types of forces and how do they act? So let's find out answers to such questions in this chapter. What forces are? What are the different types of forces? How do they act? Let's try to find out answers for all these types of questions in this chapter. So here, so if you are riding a bicycle, so for instance, when you ride a bicycle, most of the time your legs are pushing down the pedals. Means we have to push the pedal. Here we have one pedal here, we have one pedal here. So left pedal, right pedal. Both the pedals continuously we have to push them down. So for pushing them down, you have to make an effort. So when you are riding a bicycle, to make or to create movement in the bicycle or to make it move forward, if you just stand on the bicycle or sit on the bicycle, will it move by its own? No, it can't move. If we pedal, by using our legs, if we push down the pedals, then automatically the chain will move and the wheels will move, because from the pedals chain will be connected. One chain will be connected here. Because of the pedals, the chain will move, and because of the chains, the wheel will move, and you can observe movement in the bicycle. So for pushing down the pedals, you have to make an effort. Or, so when you pick up your school bag, so your school bag is on the floor. It is on the floor. It's time to go to your school. Anyway, now coronavirus is running on. Schools not yet open. So when the schools are open, you want to go to the school. So you want to lift your bag. You want to lift your school bag from the floor. So for that, what you have to do? You have to make an effort in order to lift or pull the bag upwards. And off the ground. In the case of cycle, you have to push the pedals. But in the case of bag, you have to pull the bag. Upwards. Here you have to push the pedals downwards. Next, when you open a door, you make an effort on the door knob with your hands, either to push, move it front, move it forward, or pull to move it backward. Either push or pull. Means you can open the door either moving forward or moving backward, either by push or pull. Means for doing these normal activities, either you have to apply push, or either you have to apply pull, or you have to apply both pull and push. Both pull and push. In the case of cycle, only push is involved. In the case of bag, only pull is involved. In the case of opening door, both pull and push are involved. Means for doing any kind of activity, you have to make some effort. It may be in the kind of push, or it may be in the kind of pull. So here. So, but what about this push and pull? How much strength they will be having? How much strength they will have? So, have you ever picked the hailstone falling down in a hailstorm? Hailstorm, you know about hailstorm, children? Like big stones along with the rain, they will fall to the ground. So that is called hailstorm. That is called hailstorm. Means big stones like these stones falling along with the rain. So stones falling along with the rain, it is called hailstorm. Hailstorm. They will have, here the question is, have you ever picked the hailstone falling down in the hailstorm? So if you check the hailstones, when they are falling along with the rain, they will have strength. They will have great strength such that they will even break the car glasses. You can observe in the picture here. They are the hailstones falling on the car glass. They are just breaking the car glass. They will have that much huge strength. Because of its size and because of its greater distance from where they are falling. Means they are almost falling from the clouds. Means they have traveled very great distance from all over clouds. From all over clouds they are coming to the land. They are coming to the land means they have covered a greater distance. Because of that they will be having huge strength. So with that strength they will even break the car glasses. So next. So have you ever here? So have you ever observed a paper boy? Have you ever observed a paper boy throwing a newspaper? Have you ever wondered about his action? Here, a paper boy, so how he throws the paper, he will take his hand back. First he will fold the paper into round. Then he will take his hand back. With greater force, he will throw. He will throw to the house from the road itself. So instead of opening the gate, coming into the house, giving into the paper directly, because in one day or from morning 5 to 7, morning 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., suppose he has to deliver the paper, because suppose he has to cover 50 houses. At every house, he cannot stop, he cannot open the door, he cannot give the paper directly. So what he will do, while going on the road itself, with one handle, he will run his bicycle, he will manage his bicycle. With other hand, from the pocket, he will take the paper, then he will take his hand back, he will throw with a greater force. Like that, it will go directly into the home. Or he can throw to the second floor, third floor. Based on the paper boy's effort, he can throw the newspaper. Means he is just pushing. He is pushing the newspaper with greater effort. Next. So the actions like stretching rubber band, pulling a rickshaw. So a rickshaw person pulling the rickshaw, rowing a boat, etc. Or some more examples where our efforts help to change the motion of the object. motion of the object. So whenever we use our effort, so there will be change in the motion of the object. There will be change in the motion of object. So such actions like picking, squashing, twisting, stretching, lowering, lifting, etc. cause a change in the state of an object. Now let us try to group these tasks, means these actions, into either push or pull or both. Push or pull or both. Because we suppose one object is there, rubber ball is there, so or rubber band is there. What we can do with rubber band? We can stretch it, because it will be having elastic nature. We can stretch it. Or while washing the clothes, whatever mother we will do, she will take the clothes and she will twist the clothes with 2 hands, so that water will come out. So all these actions, what they will do, they will cause a change. They will cause a change in the state of the object. Now we have to identify them, either push or pull or both. Next. So here we have a table, children. So we have a table here, table 1, which gives some examples involving the actions like digging, sucking, erasing, falling, attracting, rising, etc. So we have to classify these actions in terms of push, pull or both. So, and we have to write push or pull in the blank boxes. If you feel that the action involves both push and pull, write both in the boxes. So here we have a table here. So we have to observe and we have to write either push or pull. Digging the borewell. Is it push or pull or both? Digging. What they will do? Digging means they will take a rod and they will, with great force, they will try to push it into the ground. It's an example of push. What is sucking juice with straw? So what we are doing? We are trying to pull. Pull the juice into our mouth. It's an example of pull. What about erasing blackboard with a duster? Erasing blackboard with a duster, what it is? Erasing blackboard means we can move forward. We can take eraser and we can move forward on the blackboard. It is called pushing. Or we can keep it backward and from there we can pull it towards our side. Because erasing can be done in 2 ways. So forward, backward. It can be done in 2 ways. Means it involves both push and pull. Next, a magnet. A magnet attracting the nails. Pull. It pulls towards it. Fruits falling from trees. How the fruits fall from trees? Because of the earth. Earth will be having attraction power. So any falling object it can attract. So attract means pulling. So raising a flag during Independence Day or Republic Day, while hoisting flag, what you will observe? They will tie the flag to one rope, and we will pull the rope downwards. Flag will move up. So these 3 are examples of pull. So magnet attracts nails towards its side, pull. Earth attracts apple towards its side, fruits towards its side. So pull, rising flag. We can pull the rope, flag will go up. It is also an example of pull. It is also an example of pull. Like that, any kind of action, we can identify it into either push or pull or both. Next. So, shall we call the effort done on an object by means of pushing or pulling as a force exerted on the object? So here, because here, now here whatever efforts are there, all the efforts, they are involved in terms of push or pull. Now the question is, shall we call this effort as a force? Yes, we can, because this effort only, this push or pull only can be called as a force, can be called as a force. Because we cannot directly see the force acting on a body, but we can see the effects caused due to the forces or due to the efforts. So there we cannot see the force which is rubbing the blackboard, which is erasing the white color written by the teacher on the white color chalk piece written by the teacher. But we can see the effect. We can see the effect. So board will become clean. So the forces we cannot see, but the effect caused by the force that we can observe. This effort only is called as a force. So when an object slips off your hand, it always falls down. That falling down only we can observe. But what pulls it down, that we cannot observe. So here, suppose if it is falling from your hand, it is coming to the earth. We are telling that earth will attract. We are telling that the earth will attract the ball, attract the object. Earth will attract the object. But that we cannot see. Only the falling down, that effect only we can see, but the real force we cannot observe. Or if you roll a ball on the level ground, it slows down and after some time it will come to stop. So you can observe the slowing down of the ball, or you can observe the stopping of the ball. But what making it to stop or what making it to slow down, that you cannot observe. Only you can observe the effect. So what makes the ball stop? What forces acts on the object? What change their state of motion, that you cannot observe. That you cannot observe. Only the effect you will see. So next. So types of forces. So that means the forces. Here the forces we cannot observe. They are invisible. They are invisible. Only their effect we can see. So all types of forces, we have divided them into contact forces and forces at a distance. Forces are divided into two types. One type is contact forces, other type is forces at a distance. So if you observe the following figures, here we are pressing the toothpaste, and toothpaste is we are with the help of toothpaste we are making it settle on the toothbrush. Okay, means we are squeezing the toothpaste. Paste will come out, and that we are taking on the toothbrush. That is first object. In second object, it's a compass. You might have learnt in 6th class playing with magnets lesson. It's a compass which is used to find the direction. So the compass kept near a magnet. If you bring the compass near to magnet, you can observe here the needle position changes continuously. the needle position changes continuously. Here the effect is toothpaste is coming out. Paste is coming out. That is the effect here. Here the effect is needle, the deflection of the needle. Deflection of the needle, it is the effect here. Means in figure A and B, we are observing some kinds of effects. Some kinds of effects here. Some kinds of effects here. So here the question is, why does the toothpaste come out when we press the tube? Or why does the needle of the magnetic compass move when we place a bar magnet near it? Here the questions are, why the toothpaste is coming out of tube? What is the reason? Why the needle is deflecting when we kept a bar magnet here? These two are the questions. Why it is happening? Why it is happening like that? Why it is happening? So have you observed the difference between the force you applied on the tube and the force applied by a magnet on the needle of compass? So here, what is the same force we are applying, children? Here we are pressing the tube. Are we pressing the needle here? No. Here pressing the needle. Here just we brought the magnet. Means the kinds of forces used in both the figures are different. Both the figures are different. So here in figure A, you observe that there is direct physical contact or direct interaction between your hand and the tube. So directly with your hand, you are touching the tube and you are pressing the tube. So the first example involves direct physical contact or direct interaction. The force which results when there is direct physical contact between two interacting objects is known as contact force. Means the force applied because of the contact of two objects, or we call them as interacting objects, that is called as contact force. That is called as contact force here in the case of toothpaste. So the tube and our hand, the interacting objects are, one is hand, other is tube. Two are in direct physical contact. So direct interaction. Because of that, paste is coming out. But here in figure B, the needle of the compass changes its direction without any physical contact. We are not touching compass. Just we have touched the bar magnet, kept it in the middle, and we have removed our hand. After that, the compass is showing the deflection by their own. We are not showing the deflection, or we are not turning the needle. The needle by itself, it is rotating. So without any physical contact, this change we can observe. So means without any contact they are changing, means is there, don't tell that there is God or there is devil behind that. We should not tell like that, because there will be something which causes deflection in the magnetic needle. That something is called a force according to scientists. That something is called as a force. Means some kind of force must be acting on the needle. The force which occurs without any physical contact between the two objects, and that force is known as distance, force at a distance, or we call it as a field force. Okay, children, like this we have two kinds of forces: direct by physical contact, contact force. Without any direct by physical contact, this is an example of contact force. Without any physical contact, this is an example of field force or force at a distance. In this way, we have two kinds of forces. So in again these two kinds of forces, we have some more types, children. We can learn about them We can learn about them later.
That's all for today, children. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates. You can also visit our website, children, www.aimstoday.in, for information regarding previous online classes, quizzes, worksheets, activities, English classes, coding skills, and lot more. Thank you, children. Have a good day.